Now I'm excited for a couple reasons this year, and the first one is we have this really nice target buck we call a split brow buck. He's all over this area, and I've killed 8 bucks in the past 5 years on this property, and a lot of them are in this movement somewhere, 7 different tree stands, but they all relate to each other. So I'm really excited for looking for that split brow buck. We have a really nice 10 that has been around this area. He should be in that 5-year-old, 6-year-old range, actually 6-year-old range. Split brow is up in there. So I'm really excited about hunting that in this area. And if you've seen a lot of my videos, you'll probably recognize this location. We have a mock scrape right over here. The second reason I'm excited is because Exodus is releasing their new cell camera, and it's their first cell camera, the Render, and I can't wait to use it. This is a location that's a perfect spot. I run about 16 to 20 Lift 2s right now, the Exodus Lift 2 model. And I love those cameras. In fact, one of the things I like about them is that they're extremely reliable. We've had no hunting season failures. They're a 5-year warranty. There's a lot of good attributes about this camera, but we've had no hunting season failures, so that's great. There's a 2-inch viewing screen. And so with that 2-inch viewing screen, I make a lot of in-field decisions where I'm going to a stand, and I look at that camera and I say, okay, there's not that buck that I want to see in this area. I'm not seeing the sign, I'm not seeing the tracks either, so I move on to the next stand. That at least helps me narrow down to certain stands. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm only going to put a couple cell cameras out on this property. And let's face it, a lot of you out there, even if you can have one, this will be the first one I've been able to put out here. So I'm kind of like a kid in a candy store. I have another spot up top that's in the center of an area where we can't go get the card often. This is a spot where I have to avoid the temptation of coming in here and grabbing the card too often. We get great buck movement here. A cell camera will take the place of me checking out those 2-inch viewing screens, grabbing a card prematurely. And for me, this is that perfect location for a self setup. And of course, it's a lot bigger step than going from that 2-inch viewing screen, and now I'll get those pictures sent to me. I'm also going to keep this Lift 2 model here because we love the B-roll footage for HD video. The video will take my data away on this plan, is what I'm told. It'll also use up my battery. And my goal is I want to stick a camera in a location like this, or a location up top where it's very remote, in the middle of where we killed 4 bucks last year. There's 2 stands. I want to put it right in the middle. We have a bedding area cut out up there. We've showed a lot of video. In fact, a buck died there that we showed in a lot of video this year. Right in the middle of that mess, there's a mock scrape, there's a water hole. We have a mock scrape water hole right here. But this is the perfect spot for a cell camera location. It's going to be a great setup. I'm extremely excited. We're also adding the solar panel to this location right here. And I know we're going to get a lot of days and weeks and months of use out of this, and we're going to try to maximize it. We'll get our B-roll and HD footage like we normally do right here. And again, this is one of our favorite setups. We have a tree stand right down here that we can shoot up to this with southerly evening winds. We have a tree stand right up here that we can shoot to with northeasterly, northerly, actually straight south winds, east winds, they blow off that way. So we get a lot of use right here. And I know I'm going to tick off Dylan by moving this much, but this is that mock scrape that you've probably seen often out here. We get a lot of mature bucks that come through here. And this again is one of our hot setups. We have a water hole right over here, the mock scrape, a hidden trail cam location, and we're making it better with the cell cam, and I think this is the perfect spot for a cell camera. Now I also wanted to ask, we're fortunate, we have the guys from Exodus Trail Camera here, Chad Sylvester. He told me not to call him the mastermind of this company, so I'll just call him the owner, part owner, CEO, president, the main guy, part of, yeah.
All of that works, yeah.
It's, you know, I've used these, this will be my 4th year using these cameras, and I've loved them. The one question I had for you, Chad, and great you guys are here, because I think you're here to make sure I don't screw up in setting this up. Yeah, yes, I knew it. You guys don't trust me, but one of the things I really wanted to ask is I go around to a lot of client properties. I see all different brands of cell cameras. And with those brands, the main complaint I get for almost all of them is battery life. And I think all of them, I mean, that's a big thing, is battery life. So you heard me say the Lift 2 model, we're putting that for HD video. We're going to try to and Dylan's pushing me because we've had 10-second last year. We had 20-second video the year before. I think 15 seconds going to be that sweet spot, probably, Dylan.
Hope so.
we've had some shadows of a big buck coming in, and we need that 2 or 3 seconds longer. I think it'll be the perfect blend of maximizing battery. So I'm always thinking about battery. We want to stick that there in that spot and not worry about it. Now we have the solar panel right there that we're going to add to this, and we'll put lithium batteries in here. I really want to know, and I think a lot of viewers out there would want to know, how long do you anticipate that this battery life will be? And I'm not going to hold you to a week. I know we're in Southwest Wisconsin. We had on our trail cameras last year, we showed -40 actual temperature one of the mornings. So what do you think, Chad?
Well, that's a great question, and it's probably one of the questions we get the most, and it's one of the hardest to answer because there's a lot of variables that come into play. Signal strength, camera settings such as upload frequencies. Are you uploading your photos in real time? So we have the ability to transmit photos in 25 seconds after they're taken with good signal.
Okay.
If you're delaying that 24 hours, your battery life is going to get a whole lot longer. So your battery life can really vary anywhere from 500 pictures to 5,000 pictures on a set of lithium batteries on the internal power source. But with our solar panel product and really any external power source, you're able to extend that greatly. And in our opinion, to run it, the reason that people want to run a cell camera obviously is to either lower the pressure they're putting on camera locations or to save time. But at the end of the day, they're not wanting to go to the woods to receive the data. They're wanting to have that convenience factor of getting it sent to their phone, and not running an external power source is preventing that. So external power, number one, in my opinion, you have to use it if you want to maximize the ability of the product. But with a panel and internal batteries, you're about, with the panel fully charged and internal batteries, you're about 7,000 milliamp hours of capacity there. So that's going to range anywhere from 8,000 to 12,000 photos.
Okay.
That's
outstanding.
With those two products. Now, yes, it's like I said, that's a pretty solid option. The more sun that's available to the product,
right,
the solar side, obviously it's going to extend that a little bit. But somewhere in that range, you can expect that.
Well, that's great. I know people out there appreciate it, and that is the main concern. Of course, we've already proven. I mean, we've like I said, we've had no hunting season failures. I rely on the product for my career profession, and we know they're going to work. But bottom line is, if they run out of battery, they're not working. I know in this spot that's critical. My goal, when I hear 4,000 pictures, even 12,000, 8,000 pictures, my goal is not to get 2,000 pictures a week. My goal is to get 500 pictures, 400 pictures every 3 or 4 weeks, and I want to get a good sampling of what's going on in this location. I usually set my trail cam delays 5 minutes, 10 minutes, especially in a spot like this, because I look at it like, even I go back to the old 36 exposure days in 1999 with the cameras I had back then, where 36 was a jump up for pictures, and I learned that if I set them on a hour delay, I'd get a better sampling of the deer in that location for a longer period of time. So I like to hear that. I'm really excited about using this. So I know a lot of people haven't been able to look at these yet, and so I'm glad to have one in hand and check it out. This will be the perfect cell camera setup. I hope that you're considering some of those this year. They're a great complement to a non-cell camera system that's already been set up. Again, excited about this, but man, I'm excited about that split brow buck. We have a couple other bucks on the other properties, and should be a great year. We're out here doing a little scouting, doing a little filming, and it's that time of year, time to start planning, and this is part of the arsenal this year, and I can't wait.